These are the arrow keys on the bottom of a Passap lock. They're about the same on the back lock of an E6000. This is a DM80. And on both locks of the old Pinky, and on both locks of the Greenie. The 0 key cancels either one of the arrow keys that's depressed. The arrow key should make a good solid click and stay down when you put it down. You can use one or both. Now, what is it that they do? They move the pushers that are out of the rail already, as those are. Those that are residing in the rail will be unaffected by the arrow key position. If I depress the left arrow key, I know it's a little dark, but my pushers are in the up position. When I cross, you should see them move to the down. And they will change positions every time the locks move to the left. They went down that time. Nothing changes moving right because the right arrow key is not engaged. They'll go up the next time. Now if I cancel, I just hit the 0 where you couldn't see. We have no change. Now let's see if I can get where you can see. If I hit the right arrow key and I come across, at presently they're in the up position, but down they went. It's also possible to have both arrow keys engaged. Let's see what happens. They should go down. Now they should come up. There are quite a few uses for this feature, but AX and BX patterns are some of the main uses. Now here we are under the lock. When I depress the arrow key, see what happens? It brings this, it's up towards us now, but it's really down into position. And now you can see how it works. It's a pusher scooper upper. That edge will scoop the pushers. When I hit the 0 key, it cancels. Let me move over here so you can see the other side. You won't be able to see me press the arrow key, but I am. And you saw that pop into the position and release when I hit the 0. It withdraws and then it no longer affects the pushers. In, out. Now, what can happen is that the arrow keys are getting depressed, but this area is failing to respond. And Jack will explain to you what to look for if that occurs.
All right, let's talk about the lock and the scooper for the pushers. I want you to look right here and you will see that little piece release. I'm going to hold this down and show you the catch piece right there. That's the lock. Now sometimes...
And when you say, I'm zooming, so tap it again.
Right.
When you say lock, you don't mean the whole lock as in carriage on another machine.
No. Watch this piece right here. See it slide to my right? That releases this. Now it slides to the inside of the lock and that holds this piece. Now what happens is you push it, this piece doesn't ride up. It's spring-loaded. You can see me bouncy. Two things could be going on. This catch could be failing to slide out of the way. The spring load, this piece could be stuck in its position. Now you see, look over here on this side.
Hang on, I'm coming.
Oh, I was going to move this. You got it?
Yeah.
All right, see, when I push the center button that puts everything back the way it's supposed to.
The 0 button, everyone.
The 0 button, okay. Notice how it pulls these two down. All right. See how it's pulling that one down?
Bounces them a bit,
right.
Yeah.
Now, this one's released so it can scoop the pushers.
Well, actually, it's engaged,
right,
so it can scoop the pushers.
Well, it's released in that this piece.
Oh, that's holding it out
right,
of the way.
This fasten, this lock right here is out of the way so it can spring load into the useful
But it
position.
puts it into action, yes.
Right. Now, when I disengage either one of these, I'll show it one more time.
We're only seeing the one on one end.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. The 0 button, though, pulls that down. And this little latch should spring load into position. So you got two spring-loaded situations. This piece that pops down when you release it, and this latch, which should spring over. Okay, now.
And either one could stick, is that right?
Now, I'm going to hold this.
What is it you're holding?
Okay, see how I'm trying to hold that? See?
I tried to squish your finger.
Well, yeah, but see, its little lock won't move until this is in a downward position. So you've got two operations, the latch that slides left to right, and the scooper, which pops down, up right now, but it would pop down.
It's down while in working position.
It gets depressed
and pulled out of the way
into the upper position, so it's no longer working. So you got two things going on that could be bad whenever you push the button. And this is what a friend has said. She pushed the button, and yet the pushers were not scooped up and changed position. They all stayed in the same spot they were in.
So if that happens, you're not getting the appropriate response here.
That's right.
And Jack's trying to cover the reasons that could be.
That's right.
I have had it happen to my own machine when it just got too dirty, and it didn't look filthy. It's dirt where you can't see it.
That's right.
Way down on in there.
Well, let me show you by releasing this.
I need to reposition this.
Hand me my pointer.
Okay, here's your pointer. Notice the pointer, people.
Yeah, if you'll notice,
it's a knitting needle.
I'm putting the pointer in the hole in the back of the lock, and I'm still to the outside of where this piece is hinged. It's actually hinged back in here. See, now I'm touching the base of it and holding it down with the knitting needle. So the hinge is back in here. So you can have crud in here and you're not seeing anything, and you're washing all over in here. But the hinge is here and here. If you want to do some disassembly, you can take these screws out and lift this piece up. See how those screws head, once it bounces a little bit? So there's springs underneath here that are part of this mechanism. And so you could be brave and pull these out, and it's going to go sprawling. But then you can see the hinge places for these two levers.
And in our experience, Passap springs don't break very often, but a broken spring is a possibility.
It is a possibility, but if you turn it over and you do this, you find out if the spring is working. And if you do that, then you find out if this is working. Same thing on the other side. Can you see?
Let me adjust a little bit. Yeah.
See? Okay, spring's working.
So we know the spring's not bad.
Right? And here, spring is working, you see?
That's a second spring you're testing.
Right.
So if it's failing to respond, it's almost certainly dirt or dried grease back in the hinge area.
What you've got is fiber buildup, and you can take your cover off, and you can see from the top side of the lock somewhat down in there, but you may have to start taking things apart to get down in there and clean it.
I will add one thing. I have had it sometimes be intermittent, where I do that and get no response, but the third try it would clunk properly into place. And that's pretty much a symptom it's getting to be time for a serious cleaning.
Yes, and these can be deep soaked. We do it all the time.